All right, what's up, everybody? This is the PR Project. I'm Tommie Runs. We got Aaron Worldwide, and we got Gary is a runner. This is the PR Project. We talk about all things running. We have Run Culture Court that has been popping off in all the chats and all the Instagrams and all that stuff. We talk about running. We talk about shoes. We even sometimes go on the road and we do live shows and stuff like that. But this is the podcast, so please make sure you hit subscribe in the podcast platforms and also subscribe on the YouTube shenanigans. Speaking of shenanigans, Gary, why were you late today?
It's the construction. My dog was
Ate
sick.
your homework?
My kids were acting up. All the things, all the excuses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No, honestly, I just keep forgetting how long it takes to get here because of construction.
I mean, I feel like you're.
And to be honest with you, I didn't think you guys would be on time. What? Well, at least one of you.
That's crazy. Wait. Hold on. I'm normally here on time. 90. Wait. Hold on. This is not an attack. Hold on, guys. We're not doing this. 90%?
I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. I don't know if you've ever been on time.
That is cap. To here?
To hear, yeah.
I remember vividly like the times that I've been late to here. And it's like 3 or 4 times.
But we only recorded out of here 3 or 4 times, right?
This is true. We've got
Maybe
like
8.
6
All
or
right,
7
okay,
episodes.
hold on. Give me 70%.
You shooting 50% from the field.
That is cap, bro. I'm cold-blooded from 3.
You shooting free throws bad right now because it's not even a 3 to get here on time.
Jesus. All right, anyway. All right, well, why were you? Yeah, you were late, and I feel like, okay, I'll do better. How about this? Going forward, I'm going to be on time to the runs, and I'm always on time to the runs. When you or Gary or Aaron schedule a run, I'm always I try. Okay, always. All right, always is a big word.
It's the backtracking. You backtrack before you even get the words out. You're like, I'm going to start backtracking.
Because
now.
I'm not trying to lie on mic, but what I'm saying is, I'll say that I respect. Normally, y'all two are on time to mostly everything, except for some reason Gary doesn't like coming to here on time. But
That's true.
but I try my best whenever you guys schedule like a run, I try to get there on time because I know for sure y'all gonna be there on time. If Ern schedules something, I don't try to be there on time at all, no matter what time he gets there.
Right, and we did discuss that yesterday in setting this up because in the chat, Ern said 10 and then edited 9:30.
Yeah, and then he said buffer.
And then did you guys realize you could like click the edit button and see what the original one was?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's how I was able to see 10
that's
and
crazy.
9:30.
You can
Yeah.
do that?
Yeah.
Dang, so you can see what somebody said
Yeah. You can see like the full statement.
forever?
Yeah.
I don't know about forever,
Yeah,
but
forever.
Like forever, you can always see what somebody's
You can always
first.
go back and, you can
Since when?
forever.
it's been like that.
It's
Yeah.
been like
you
that for a
click
long
the
time.
edit button.
Okay,
You can see what
It
somebody.
does, it doesn't change
Us-
the message. Like,
Bro, that's not good, though.
Usually it's a
'Cause, like,
typo,
I've-
right? Usually it's like, yeah.
No, I've said a bunch of stuff before.
Sent it and then edit it.
edited it because I don't want to say that one sentence.
All right,
if
I gotta
you
go back
delete it
through
in
time and stuff.
iMessage, it's gone forever.
Okay.
But like if you unsend it
Yeah.
in iMessage, it's gone
Right.
forever. But if you edit it
Oh, okay.
in
I'm-
iMessage
okay.
or if you edit in Instagram DMs,
Yeah.
I
you
thought
can
y'all-
click edit history and it's
Okay,
gonna
I
show
think
you.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I've unsent things before.
That's
Yeah.
different.
And
Yeah.
because I didn't want that to land, so I'm like, okay, let me go back and say.
But the
something.
way you're starting to sweat a little bit, I'm gonna go through all your, like, your
Edit
edits.
all of them and see how you really feel.
Oh man. But anyway, this is kind of a cool episode. This is 131. This is our half marathon episode. And Aaron had a really good idea since it says 131. I kind of thought about it when I realized 131. Like, oh, half marathon, but I didn't think anything further than that.
Yeah.
Our creative person Aaron was like, let's do the half marathon episode.
Yeah.
So kick it off, bro. What are we doing today for this half marathon episode?
So I thought it would be cool to maybe recount our first half marathons. As we know, the half marathon is probably the most popular recreational long distance event.
Outside of 5K.
Well,
You
long
think?
distance.
Even with 5K is probably beating it, but
5 but you go higher than 5. Like it's
Any-
more popular than a 10K
yeah.
and more popular than a marathon. I think
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I thought it would be cool to get you guys just stories about interesting half marathons you may have run or just interesting experiences with the half marathon. And like I said, our first half marathons, because I know we do kind of get in the weeds with like running talk
Yeah.
sometimes. And I think it's cool to get back to the essence of like do you remember the first time you ran a half marathon? Because I feel like people get the bug from running the half marathon. Like you do that first half marathon and you like, man, I could have ran it faster. I want to run another one. Or, oh, wow, I feel great. I think I'm ready for the marathon. You know, everybody's like entry point into this kind of obsession with running kind of starts with the half marathon. Like if you didn't run in school or something, like if you don't have previous running experience. So, yeah. So let's start with first half marathon. So Gary, you want to, do you have any good stories about your first half marathon?
I feel like you run a half marathon before both of us did.
I might have. Well, maybe. I didn't really run a half marathon until like 2018 when I came back to running. And it was in Lansing. Was it the Capital City River Run? I think that's what it's called, or something like that. What was cool for that for me is because I ran at LCC. Doing it again, sorry. I ran at LCC, Lansing Community College, for a couple of years, and so most of the route of the River Run were the routes that we used to train on. So for me, coming back, and this is like 20 plus years after I ran at LCC, it was kind of like a fun, nostalgic, familiar area, and I think that was like helped like kind of charge me up and get me going a little bit. You know, I remember running sub 130.
Dang.
You know, first half marathon. I was training for Detroit, and we got to finish inside Lugnut Stadium. But just the familiarity of being downtown Lansing again, running the old routes that I used to run. I ran into some old LCC teammates that weekend as well. It was really kind of a cool, fun experience for me, and it was a positive. Like, oh hey, this half marathon ain't half bad, you know. So
this half marathon ain't half bad.
That should be a slogan for somebody's half marathon. This ain't half bad. Do you remember what shoes you wore?
I think I was still in my Skechers
Waffles. He was wearing Nike waffles.
era.
Bowerman ones.
Yeah. Made it myself in my toaster oven.
The Bowerman garage joints.
I think I was still in those early days when I would run in the Skechers
yes.
Aero Razor.
Hey man, them Skechers Aero Razor 3s was slept on big time.
Yeah.
I put a lot of miles in them Skechers.
Y'all was the first people I remember. Well, first people I seen wearing Skechers to run in for sure.
Yeah.
I thought only like Joe Montana wore Skechers at that time.
Joe Montana and
Retired Joe Montana. Slip-ons.
yeah, and OG Ananobi apparently.
Oh yeah, nah, he's legit.
But yeah, so no, what's yours? You go.
So my first half marathon was also in 2018. So that's interesting. It was the summer of 2018. I had started running in the late summer, early fall of 2017. And I don't know what prompted me. Oh, okay. So I was at work and I had a 2.5 mile long run from the Nike app. That was my long run for the week, 2.5 miles, because I had just started running, and it was so hot. And I remember I ran at Bald Mountain, and it was just like an out and back, and I was just dying. And I'm like, bro, 2.5 miles is crazy. But I finished, and I was at work the next day, like, yeah, I ran 2.5 miles yesterday. Like I felt good about myself. Like I was happy. And my team lead, she said, are you gonna run that race that runs into Canada from Detroit? And I'm like, well, first of all, I don't run races. That's weird. And no, I'm not ready to like run a race that runs to Canada. Like, what is that? So I did some research and I saw that the Free Press was a half marathon that ran from Detroit over the Ambassador Bridge into Canada. And I'm like, I think I can do that. And mind you, it's like September around this time. So I'm like, this is an October race. So no way am I going to be able to run 13 miles in a month, because this 2.5 miles almost killed me. So my plan is to run it in the fall of 2018. So I would just do back-to-back. This was when the Nike Run Club app had built-in plans. I don't know if I'm sure they still do, but they had like built-in plans. And I was doing like 10K plan, Get More Fit plan, 5K plan. Like I was just doing whatever. And by the time the summer came around, because I ran through the winter, and by the time the summer came around, I said, I think I could run a half marathon now, like before the fall. So I did my Googles, and it was this series called Run Michigan Cheap. And they're like, it's $20, Pollyant Trail, Lake Orion, half marathon in the morning, knock it out. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I was stressing out about it because I'm just like, ugh. But my last run before that was 14 miles, which pretty cool. Like, I got up to 14 miles. I think I was running 4 days a week. So the Nike app would give me little runs. I'm running every run full go as hard as I possibly could.
Gassed.
That 14 miles though, I remember running that 14 miles, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. So I get to Lake Orion to run the half marathon, and it was hot because it was in like June, and it was on Pollyant Trail, which doesn't have great coverage from the sun. So I remember it being really hot, and I also like vividly remember at like mile 8, I'm cruising along. It's probably like 50 people in the race, maybe 50, 60 people in the race. And this lady with a stroller. And it's on a dirt packed trail with some like gravel. And yeah, I could just see the stroller kind of just like, it's a running stroller, but it's just like bouncing along. And we just like side by side for like 5 miles probably until she decided to like put the gas on and just like leave me. And I'm just like, man, this running thing is crazy. So I finished, and I think I ran.
Was there a baby in the stroller?
Yes, I hope so. I never looked, but I hope so.
You and that baby traumatized.
That baby probably had to use the bathroom after all of that bouncing around. But so I think I finished in 153 or something, 158 maybe. Like it was a tough day, but I felt so accomplished. I felt super good about just like committing to something and like sticking it through and seeing it through. And
now we will go to a commercial break. Not even a pause.
Yeah. So it was cool, and it gave me the urge to want to like let's see if we can really like push this in the fall and run faster. So yeah, that was my first one. And I think it was cool to run a smaller one because it felt like much less pressure. I know if my first one was the free press, then I would have been freaking out. But the fact that it was smaller, it was in a venue, it was at on a trail that I had ran before. Like it was familiar. I didn't have to like worry about parking and all that stuff. It was just very smooth. So that was cool.
That's like basically how you approach marathons right now.
It's still the same way.
It's a running theme.
Same
no
thing.
pun intended.
Dang, it's not half bad. It's a running theme. What you got anything else, Dad? No. So my first one. So it's funny. All of our first half marathons were in the same year. So my first half marathon was 2018.
Oh, before you get too far into it,
all right.
I wore Nike Freeze.
Okay. Dang, I don't even know what I wore.
Nike Freeze.
I gotta think while I'm telling the
that
story.
I bought from the Nike outlet.
Nike Freeze are terrible for that.
Awful.
That's a long.
I'm not sure I know what those look like.
They don't look. They look like. I don't even know what they were. I don't even think they were running shoes. I think
they were
like.
Yeah, then they were.
They're supposed to be running shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought like they was like some type of like maybe training shoe or something like that.
Nah, it was a running shoe, but it was right off the backs of the minimal era. So it was let's not overwhelm them with foam. It was like flying it free or something.
Yeah, free of everything else except for shoe.
Foam.
Right. All right. So yeah, 2018. That's when I started running, and I started running because of an offer or an invite to run this half marathon. So I was sober for a year. I was in the gym heavy. I was Tommie Guns when I ran. I think when I ran my first half marathon still. So like on my Instagram, huh?
I said that back was real wide.
I came through, dog. You should see this video. When you edit this video, you might have to show me going through.
Actually, I think we have a clip.
But no. So I ran my first. The first half was I was lifting heavy at that point, and I was starting to get into like the HIIT type training. So it was like more high intensity, and I was kind of slimming down a little bit because I was like enjoying that like type of effort.
Imagine if High Rocks was around back then.
I probably would have fell into High Rocks at that point for sure. So I was like at this point I was still like just like over a year sober, so I was still trying to like find new things and try stuff or whatever. And so this dude was like, this guy that is actually one of my clients at work, and he was like, hey, you're in the gym a lot. We do the Chicago Rock and Roll Half Marathon every year because they're companies in Chicago, and we raise money every year, like quite a bit of it for Move for Hunger, which was also in that same industry I was in. And what they do is they collect money and food, and they feed like millions of people a year with food that is left in people's houses, non-perishables and stuff like that. So I'm like, bet, like I know Move for Hunger really well, like, and of course I'd be happy to wear their jersey when I go. So I'm like, all right, so I got like 2 months until the Rock and Roll Half. I think it was. Like, I don't even know what month it was at that point. Like, it had to be, like, August or, like, July or something like that in Chicago. And so I started training for it. Most of my training was, like, in the gym on the treadmill. I think I was wearing I know for sure I was wearing those Adidas Pharrell joints, like the little tennis joints. You know what I'm talking about? Like the slip-on ones with the fake laces,
Yeah.
because they don't do nothing.
Yeah.
So I trained. My training for that was just randomly running, like just distances, like randomly here and there. And then this one dude reached out because I was like, I don't know what I'm doing or something like that. This dude reached out and was like, I'll write you a program. So he was like, he wrote me like on this piece of paper, like what to do for the next like 4 weeks or whatever it was. So I'm running this training plan that he gave me, and I ended up getting a stress fracture in the training like 2 weeks before the race. So I get a stress fracture in my like metatarsal, like in my foot, probably because of the shoes, and just adding miles from like just out of nowhere. And so I went to the doctor, and I'm like, she's like, yeah, it looks like you got a stress fracture in your foot. And I'm like, yeah, I've been training for this half marathon or whatever. She's like, yeah, probably not, a great idea. And I was like, well, I'm probably gonna run it anyway though. So like, what can I do? So same now, same person.
Yep. Unreasonable.
I'm like, I literally told the lady, I'm like, I'm gonna probably run it, but what can I do? She's like, well, take some bunch of time off. I would not suggest you run this race at all, but take some time off, get some different shoes, do this, and this, right? So I did all the things, went and got some shoes, walked into like a shoe store and was like, I needed better shoes. They handed me I won't even say that. They handed me some shoes that I didn't think were cute, but they were like better for my foot, So I didn't run for 2 weeks until like race day pretty much, and taped my leg up and all that stuff. Put the shoes on. That was definitely not race day type of shoes. 18. Well, there was race day shoes then too, wasn't it? Like
I
the
mean,
4% had
4%.
just came out.
Yeah, 4%. I wasn't in 4%.
Impossible to get.
Yeah, I wasn't even in 4% realm. I didn't even know that existed. So I get to this race. My whole family is there. Everybody comes out to Chicago because it's really close by. Rock and Roll Half Marathon was pretty big at the time. Like, so it was a lot of people, and that was like my first real, like, I guess, like race experience. I had run a couple 5Ks like in training in my brain to get ready for this. And I get out there, and it's supposed to not rain until the end of the race, like hours later, right? And as soon as we get in the corral, and if you have run the Chicago Marathon, it's the same start, same direction you go out, same everything as the Chicago Marathon, I think. It's in that same area. And as soon as they start, like, singing the anthem or whatever, it starts raining immediately, like downpour. I'm like, oh, this is crazy, though. Like, this is my first real run experience like that, and it's raining the whole time. But went out. I think I was like, I don't even know what I ran. I think I ran like maybe 145 or 149 or something like that. But I was super. I remember being.
You ran a 145, 149 and a broken foot.
It's not broken. It was a stress fracture. So listen. It didn't hurt until and I had got insoles and everything to try to like help, like whatever. But it didn't hurt until after the race. Yeah. Walking back to like
because you did more damage to it.
I mean, I didn't know you was a doctor. Okay.
I've broken both of my feet.
You broke?
Yeah.
All right.
Through running.
Through running. Okay. Well, I had a broke whatever it was, right? But so like, I just remember like during the race, it just felt it was the first time that I had been in like this a setting that like everybody's doing the same thing. Like you're essentially everybody's starting in the same spot and trying to end in the same point. No matter what the time frame is, everybody's going through the same thing together. And I, like that dawned on me like during the race. I'm like, this is really cool. Mm-hmm. Even though it was like raining almost the entire race. And I remember running with this one guy, I think his name was Darren. He was a young dude. Like he was about to go away to the Army or I think Air Force, one of those. He was about to go away soon. And he was just like, we were like found each other, like we were running next to each other. And he's like, all right, well, so you're running pretty good. I was like, yeah, it's my first. And he's like, oh, that's really great, And then he found out how old I was. He was tripping because he's like, dang, you don't look that old. I'm like, thanks. And he's like, well, what I'm gonna do is once we get to mile 10, we gonna speed up. We gonna close it out. And I'm like, I don't know, but we'll try, right? And then we got to mile 10, and he's like, all right, it's time to go. I was like, see you later. I just let him go. And then eventually, like mile 12 and a half, I caught up to him, and that's still a vibe. But I remember like as I was coming over like this last little like hill or whatever in Chicago to get towards that finish line, and then all of a sudden I got like super emotional. like, because you see the finish line. That was like the farthest I hadn't run 13 miles or even anything close to it before that day. I think maybe 10. That's kind of close. But it just was like this crazy vibe of like, felt so accomplished, other than like my kids at that point, like that crossing that finish line, that was the most like proud I'd been like of myself for doing something like for me that I never thought I'd be able to do. So it was cool. And then as soon as I did that, like obviously I had to like rest because of my foot or whatever. But I knew at that moment, like this running thing is like a vibe for me, and I'm gonna go back to it as soon as I can. And then I guess the rest is history after that.
Yeah, I think sometimes like chasing these big goals and all the stuff that we want to do, we kind of lose touch with that feeling. It's like, because like it's almost like you gotta go higher and higher every time to get that feeling again.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, it was something as simple as finishing your first half marathon, which you run 2 half marathons in a training day now.
Yeah.
Like it's it's just another Tuesday. But at that time, it was like, this is so important to me. Like, and it wasn't even like you had all these weeks of training or anything like that, but it was that moment of seeing the finish line and that moment of accomplishment to say, wow, I really did this. I think we kind of take it for granted sometimes now that we've been running for so long, because it's like when you are new like that, that accomplishment seems so great.
Yeah. I think that like I think it happens again, for like for when you get to the marathon, but we do take for granted like those entry points, like how proud we were of those moments, because it's outshadowed pretty quickly if you just kind of continue. And when you were talking about us doing the half marathon episode, I was like, dang, like I haven't really raced a half, like I haven't paid attention to the half marathon in a long time. Like my half marathon PR is from a tune-up race for a marathon.
Yeah, same.
Like, and it's not often, because we kind of are in our own bubbles, that we talk to people that are like gunning for their first marathon or their 5th or 6th, and that's like their longest distance. So like this is exciting and like fun to kind of look back at how that distance, like what the distance meant, and what it technically can mean to so many people.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's a lot of people's entry point into racing.
Yeah.
Like, because it's still a distance that's like within reach. Because like you can't just like get up off the couch and run a marathon. You really can't get up off the couch and run a half marathon. But like just like you got an invitation last minute and you already had a kind of base level of fitness. You broke your foot in the process, but you still made it happen. So I think sometimes as more experienced runners, we kind of look at more novice runners and we think, it's just a half marathon. Like, why are you so happy about it?
Yeah.
But it's like, no, this is the world to them.
Yeah.
Just like it was the world to us at some point.
Yeah, no, it's a great accomplishment, because it's a double-digit race. There aren't a lot of 10-mile races out there. I mean, we have here in the Flint area, obviously, but like it's something to strive for, because it's got the word marathon in it for one, and 13.1 miles is a good enough distance goal for that somebody who maybe looks at the marathon as a bit too much, but I can do half of that. It's just enough of a goal for somebody to reach to be proud of themselves and accomplish something.
Yeah. So and I think that when you said something earlier, I feel like the half marathon is a really cool distance in a way, like kind of speaks to like what both of you guys said is, 5K is great. Like no shade to any race shorter than the half marathon, but like the half marathon is the distance that's just far enough away that that can be transformative.
Yeah.
Like 5K is too. It just depends on where your fitness is. But even for some of the folks that have run a bunch of 5Ks, have never like, that's the half marathon at me. But once you get to that distance and see that finish line, and whether you had a great day or not, it's still one of those like, wow, that is crazy. Because you tell somebody you ran a 5K, it's kind of like, in most realms, it's kind of like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But if you say you ran a half marathon, the not to brag about it, but the reaction is a little different, because most people don't aspire to or imagine themselves able to run 13.1 miles, So it is interesting to like look back and see how, because we let that go a long time ago.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see like, hadn't thought about how I felt crossing that finish line in a long time, and I guess we all kind of chase that in different ways. You know, like I guess that's why you're gonna run a 50 miler soon. I was trying
Sure.
to. He's like, no,
Sure.
no. What's y'all best half marathon race like to date? Like maybe speed or experience, whatever.
So in last spring, I ran. I trained specifically for the half. I ran the Philly Love Run half in March of 2025, and then I doubled back and ran Martian in Dearborn half marathon. And Philly was my PR. It was a pretty nice PR, but I felt like I could run faster. And then I did Dearborn a couple weeks later, and I suffered through it. Like, it sucked. But I ran like 20 seconds slower. Mm-hmm. But it felt like, it was like day and night. Yeah. So I would say Philly was like my best. And I felt strong. I felt fast. It was a cool race. It was a nice day. Like, everything kind of fell into place real beautifully. So that was cool. But I also think back to during COVID. When we did the unofficial.
Oh, I was thinking about that just now.
Unofficial free press.
Oh, my God.
And I had some rough times early in COVID when I was a little burnt out, a little overtrained from running. So
a lot. You was super overtrained.
Yeah. So to bounce back from that and be able to run, I think that was my first time running under 90 minutes in a half marathon. And that just felt like a huge accomplishment for me. And to do it without like an official race,
Philly,
we
right?
just...
Wait, you ran under 130 for that day?
That was my first time running under 130.
Oh, dang.
Was for the fake, not the fake.
Were you talking about the one we ran on like the trail on we went from that point to point?
No,
that was a half marathon too.
Yeah, that was our
was
makeup
2020.
for that was 2020. That was our makeup for Glass City.
Yeah, okay.
But
I was
that
thinking about
fall,
that,
we did virtual Freep because they still weren't weren't doing races.
Yeah.
And that was my first time running under 90 minutes and a half.
Yeah.
And I felt a lot of just like weight off my shoulders because I'm just like, I should have been ran under 90 minutes. Like everything has showed me that I can, but I don't know what's going on. So that was a good one for me too. So,
what about you, Gary?
I've never run like an all-out half yet, but I think my favorite one so far has been my first Rock CF.
You said you haven't run an all-out half?
Yeah, I've only run it for marathon training.
Okay, that's crazy.
Yeah, and so it wasn't a PR. It was almost exactly to the second of my PR in Detroit when I did the Freep the year before. Yeah. Or half a year before, whatever. But it's usually in March, right? Rock CF.
Yeah.
That's just a fun small race. It's got for the most part, the crowd's pretty good. The course is nice, couple hills, but go through the airport hangar and whatnot. But I just really enjoyed that course. I just the atmosphere. It's like a fun, local community out there, just raising money for a good cause, and I think they do a good job out there.
Yeah,
I do that. I think I've done it twice. I'd probably do it again.
Yeah, and we saw a tragedy that day.
We did. Yeah. We saw a deer not quite make that fence.
Yeah. Different. Go back to episode number something.
We bring it all down.
Talked about it in depth.
Yeah.
It was a traumatic
Fun
experience.
fact: this is probably the funniest thing of all the things about half marathon for me. The first free press, so 2018, when they give you like the swag bag at the expo, it had like little gummy bats because it's October, so it's around Halloween.
Oh, right.
Okay.
So it was like gummy bears, but they were bats instead of bears, and I ate them in the race. Like that was my fuel.
And
I'm like, I've seen them say that you need carbs, and they just gave me some sugar.
Bro read the back flap, and it's carb.
I said, let's do it. So that was cool. That was tasty.
My I don't know. My best one was a tune up for Berlin 2023. I think I ran the Millennium Meadows in Grand Rapids. It was like I think a 3-lap loop or something like that. And I just remember I was so fit. Like I was so fit in fall 2023. And I did marathon pace all the way through until like 2 miles left and just kind of sped up. And that's still my PR.
That's crazy.
And but the one that stands out to me as a half. I didn't even think about this until right now. The namesake of the show, PR project. So in 2022, 2021.
2021.
Dang, we've been friends for too long. we gotta 5 years. It's got to be over with. So 2021, my mom lives in Savannah. I'm like, there's a rock and roll Savannah. I'm gonna train for that. Aaron, you should do it too. Let's train for it and try to go get our PRs. And I don't even know what my PR. I think my PR was, dang, I ran a few half marathons. My PR before that was a tune-up race for Boston 2020 before the pandemic happened.
Yeah.
That was the day after the Olympic trials in 2020 in Atlanta, hilliest place ever. I ran 24:50, and then so like I'm like, okay, let's break this or whatever. And I think I wanted sub 120
You did.
in Savannah. And I started doing hashtag PR project. And then Aaron was like, let's do like a singlet.
Yeah.
So he come up with this random logo, and it was our logo forever until this last one we got right now. And so we ran this race. We get down to Savannah. Savannah in like November should be, what would you think it would be? Savannah, Georgia in November. Weather-wise. Dry. What temp?
60.
60.
Sure.
Anywhere 50 to 60 degrees. Something like this is going to be cakewalk, especially coming from Michigan, right? We get down there, and it's Tropical Storm Wanda. And Tropical Storm Wanda isn't very tropical. She brought in 30-something degree weather, raining sideways, like heavy gust winds. I mean, this is like legit because it was the last rock and roll Savannah that they had.
Yeah.
They canceled. The weather was so bad, and like for like what's it called when you get cold? Hypothermia. That they canceled the marathon an hour or two before the race. And that was the last chance if you wanted to try to qualify for Boston. That was going to be like the last race in the country that you could have done it. They canceled that hour and a half, 2 hours before the race because of the weather, because they thought it would be too dangerous to be out there for that long. And then when we got to the race, we still went, but it was raining the whole time. We sat in the corrals for 45 minutes, like standing in the corrals because they were like something was going on with like the route, so they just had us just standing in the rain, bro. And it was, I'm talking about freezing, and somehow we both PR'd in the race somehow still, probably because we just wanted to be done.
Yeah.
It was so cold though, bro. Like that.
How cold was it?
It was so cold. It was. Wait, hold on. Ask me how cold was it? How cold was it?
How cold was it?
It was so cold that nobody, like half the aid stations, nobody was at. Like nobody could man them. So they just had water on the tables and cups, and some of the waters had ice over the top.
Shit, I'm not surprised they weren't blown off.
No, I mean,
You know
for
what I
some
mean?
reason it wasn't like
Yeah.
that. It wasn't. I guess it wasn't that windy. Maybe I don't know. But everywhere you went through, all like the cross section streets all had puddles, like enough so big that you just had to just run through them because there was no going around.
It was like shin deep.
Yeah.
Like past the ankle.
Like
full,
legit full steps in
Yeah.
puddles, like wildness, right? But that was like I think the fastest half marathon that I ran as in training for a half marathon. I think I ran 120 and like some change.
I'll never forget that race because it was an out and back portion, and I saw you and you had when you were doing the run,
took my jacket off, bro.
He had it over because this one your hair was like bigger too, and like he had the hood on tight. Like he looked crazy, but he was floating by with a few other guys, and I'm just like,
the Unabomber look.
I'm like,
Bro,
I'm
like
man.
yeah, I had a hoodie. I forgot I had a hoodie.
It
on.
wasn't
I
just
had
a hoodie. It was the pullover, the run, eat, sleep, repeat pullover with zip, half zip, quarter zip joint.
And under it, we had long sleeve shirts. We had the singlet that we made because we thought it was gonna be warm. And
I got
then
some
the jacket.
crazy photos from that.
Yeah, that
cool.
was a tragedy, but we did it.
We did it somehow, and this was like born from that, which
Yeah,
is
and then the next, like we got back the next month, I was like, man, we should do like a podcast or whatever. We might be able to get free shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
I swear. And he like, all right. So we called it PR project and we started and we got free shoes and
now
stuff.
Tommie is running in, saunas in Europe
Right,
with
right.
scientists looking
Right.
at him and telling him, hey, you should do this. You should do this. That
Right.
was That's super cool.
Wildness.
Yeah.
All right, so let's not talk about ourselves too much. Well, let's talk about experiences. Like, how do you go about, for people watching that, like, that haven't conquered the race yet, have run it but want to do better, and all that stuff? What tips do you have on how to execute a good?
I got a more
marathon?
viral way to do this.
Okay, viral. Go.
First time marathon do's and don'ts.
Ooh, first time
So,
marathon do's and don'ts.
Yeah, so let's do that.
You go first. 'Cause
Okay, so first time marathon do's and don'ts. I think you kind of hit on it earlier. A do, find a good pair of shoes before the race, like far before the race. Find a good pair of shoes to train in, because if you're running a half marathon, your first half marathon, you're probably not doing a ton of miles. So you could probably get away with buying a pair of shoes maybe 6 weeks before the race and racing in those shoes if you like them. So find a pair of shoes that you really like, wear them almost exclusively through your whole training block. Get used to them and get very familiar with them and use them for the race. Because sure, we get plenty of, not propaganda, but just plenty of advertising that you need this, you need a trainer, you need a speed shoe, you need a tempo shoe, you need a race shoe. Yeah. Find a shoe you like, stick to that shoe, and just roll with that until the race. And if you want to get a race shoe, you can do it. But if you're comfortable in the shoe that you bought, that you've been training in, use that.
Yeah.
You got a do or a don't?
They're both here. Do practice with water and fuel. Don't try any new fuel the day of. So if you're using a Morton gel, don't switch to whatever goo or honey stinger the day before, because you want your stomach to be comfortable with what you're putting in your body.
All right, so half marathon do, I would say half marathon do, if you have enough time, grab a training schedule. Either get a coach, or if that's not in the cards right now, because it's like, I don't know how serious this thing is, get some type of training plan from a friend or online or something, because the half marathon is a fun distance, but you can also, if you take it serious enough to have more fun on the race day, if you can go through a few, maybe 6 to 8 weeks at least of this training to kind of ramp up to this, it can make the half marathon so much more fun and enjoyable. You may not, like win the race or whatever, but the point is, in some of these races, that type of distance can be like so shocking where you don't want to ever do it again, or you can have an experience that you enjoy and you can get that like high of like, oh, I want to try to do this again. So I would definitely say get some type of training plan or structure that you can run safely and execute so you have fun on race day.
I agree. A half marathon don't.
Don't set a goal pace for yourself if it's your first one. Just
I like that.
Focus on finishing the race and accomplishing that part. If you feel like you can do another one, then use that as your base to set a goal for your next one.
Yeah, I like that. Half marathon don't. It's kind of a combo thing. Number one, don't isolate. Like, don't feel like you have to be horse blinders on and just go. No, talk to people. If you can, find some people that's running your pace and enjoy it, because it's your first time doing it. And number two, don't obsess over, like you said, a time, or don't obsess about that and make it all about that. Enjoy the process, be present, and understand that, like we were saying earlier, that feeling of accomplishment, you might not get that chance to feel that again. So soak it all in. Don't minimize it. Don't say, oh, it's just a half marathon. No, it's a great accomplishment. So don't allow other people to rain on it. It's really something to be proud of, for sure.
Half marathon don't. First half marathon don't. Don't think because there is a full marathon out there that the 13.1 is going to be over very quickly. So that means don't go out too hard. A lot of times, in our first thing, we're like, oh, it's just this, whatever. It's just 13.1 miles. And you get caught up in that energy. The half marathon is a much faster run race. So there is a chance that if you are around people, that first few miles is going to be way too fast. Do it the other way around. If you manage yourself, the distance is long enough for you to run your pace, run your effort until you feel like you're getting a little closer, so you can try to close those down. Because it's so many of us have started a half marathon way too fast. And it is a long enough distance where you will pay for that. Yeah. So if you can pace yourself, start a little slower, way slower than you think that you should, if this is your first one, and kind of, if once you get to 10 miles, maybe you have some fun and push a little bit. Or if you don't, you just still have a solid day and you can just run the whole thing, maybe even pace or even effort, and have some fun and enjoy it. But kind of like, just to piggyback a little bit off of what you were saying, is a lot of us, because of what we see on the internet and Instagram and all the stuff, and happy for everybody doing all the distances. But if you run your first one recently and you run a first half marathon and you see other people have their marathon medals and all the other stuff, we all started somewhere, and every distance is commendable. Especially if you didn't grow up in running and you haven't run a 50 full marathons before. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it. Be proud of that thing, because like we've said already, if you listen to the rest of the beginning of this episode, our lives were all changed in some way because of running, and then also with distances like the half marathon. So enjoy it, but then also be super proud. And you don't need to take a next step up either afterwards. You don't need to go, okay, I ran a half marathon, now it's time for a full. Or Tommie runs around 100 miles, so I'm going to do it doesn't. Do your thing at your own pace. It's your journey. It's your story to tell at the end.
Do be prepared for something to go wrong.
It will.
It will. So, use the training. If you did a training block, use that to kind of get you back into what you need to do. Or let's say they ran out of fuel or whatever, they ran out of water, just take a deep breath and just know that, you're still running the race. Your body is still going to make sure that you get to the end of this thing. But do be prepared that not everything is going to be as perfect as you probably visualized it.
Yeah. And I think that's the transformational aspect of the half marathon is you can, if something goes wrong in a 5K, you can walk the rest of the way.
Yeah.
It's not the worst thing in the world. But one thing about the half is it's long enough for you to find God. It's long enough for you to be out there and be like, God, if you get me through this, I promise I'll stop cursing. I'll do whatever I got to do. Just get me to the finish line. So that is to me, why the half is so cool and so addicting, because it's okay, I had adversity show up and I looked it in the face and I made it happen anyway. And that is something that we as humans kind of chase, and I don't think we realize that, but we want to feel challenged. We want to feel it's in our innate makeup to be I want to have something come up and be able to have the toolkit to be okay, well, I need the hammer, or I need the screwdriver, or I need whatever right now, and I fixed it myself.
Yeah.
And you can do that in a half marathon, and when you do that, I think that's where the pride and the accomplishment comes from, is I built this table myself, whatever it is, I it's the same thing. They said, box cake mix at first was just you just add water to it. But people didn't like that. They wanted to crack the egg. They wanted to feel like they were cooking. That's the thing about the half marathon. You feel like you're cooking. You have to do the work.
You're cooking, all right.
You out there cooking. You out, and then you cross that finish line. And you're look, I made a cake.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. And then honestly, if you don't, and you get to that point where you got to pull the plug, or you think, that's fine too.
Yeah. No shame.
Because it is long of the distance is long enough where it's something's gonna go wrong, and sometimes you don't have the toolkit. You don't have that thing that's gonna help you get through it, and that's fine too.
Yep.
Don't give up, but it's okay. Come back next time, sign up for another one, or go back to the drawing board and start with the training plan next time.
Yep.
All that stuff. It's a cool distance, and I'm glad we hit 131 episodes so we can talk about this.
Yeah.
But I'm also glad that we had a moment to look back at what really some of this shaped our who we are now, what the races we run, how we run them, all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So 45 minutes of half marathon
talk.
stuff, but we got
that's a half marathon PR for sure.
we gotta address the elephant in the room. Tommie talked about it just a minute ago. Tommie runs running 100 miles. I think we are T-minus 6 days?
7. So 7 days today. Well, it's next Saturday. Today's Saturday.
Okay, yeah. So
7 days.
Six and some change.
Okay, 7. Just
Six,
relax.
7?
Relax. Yeah. So I'm running the Western States 100 mile race. Is the oldest 100-mile ultra in the country, and it's an honor to do it. I'm running it with Hoka. Big shout out to them because it's an extremely hard race to get into, and they had an opportunity to invite me to do it. So obviously I took that chance. Trained a lot, ran a bunch of miles. Did my biggest month ever, was 425 miles in May. So it's a lot of work, but I'm excited about it. The crew's ready, going out there, and we'll start at 5 a.m. California time. So you can track and tap in. I'll have links, obviously, in my story. But it's going to be a vibe, bro. It's going to be a vibe. It's a lot going on. It's not like just it's through the mountains. You have to run through actual creeks. There's a part like around 78, 80 miles where you have to go through an actual river with not over a river, through the river, like with a rope. And there's going to be people standing around to make sure you're okay.
Through the woods.
Over the river, through the woods, all that stuff. And I hope to have a wonderful day. And it's going to be a vibe, dog.
So 100 miles.
100 miles.
How many states?
Just one. It's in the same state.
False advertising.
False advertising.
Western states.
It should be
Western
Western
States.
State. But no,
That's crazy.
Dear Western State.
Yeah.
I would like my money back.
Right.
I was told there would be states.
Yeah.
It was my understanding that there would be more
I
states.
thought we were going through all the Western states. Yeah. You start in Oregon.
Start in Washington.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Start in Alaska.
Start in Alaska.
Lord have mercy.
Kayak down to Hawaii.
Kayak.
We make this
Start in Anchorage.
make this something.
But no, it's going to be fire. It's going to be fire.
It's been cool to see like the work you've been putting in. The precision documentary was really cool.
Yeah, check that
to
out.
see all the work that you did, the 4 sessions in the high temperature.
Can you explain a bit more the precision fueling?
So precision fuel and hydration is they tagged on board like 4 months ago to help me train or help me fuel through all this training, but then also obviously on race day, and they reached out and they're like, hey, we got you for this, but we'd love if you come over to Christchurch, England, and go into our lab, and they have this lab built behind their HQ that is has a treadmill and a bike, so like professional cyclers and runners all like come out there and train like in this heat chamber. So I did 4 sessions in 3 days, and
For how long? What's a session?
one session is 60 minutes on a treadmill. You walk in, it's about 104 degrees Fahrenheit, 102 to 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and you get on the treadmill. And the goal of this thing isn't to like show how fit you are and how strong you are. It's to get your core temperature up to 101.5 or something like that. And then as quickly as you can, safely, and hold it there for as long as you can. So if you do that over a period of days or a period of sessions, your blood and your body starts to adapt, so you get that like heat adaptation that will start to pay off in like a week and a half or 2 weeks after that point.
Yeah.
So
you want the blood plasma volume to increase.
And then so people are, oh, you could have done that in Texas, but you also can't do that like outside, typically monitored fully, because they monitor my core temperature, they monitor my heart rate, and as my heart rate would start to get a little too high, they would kind of like bring the pace down just to keep me in a safe zone to get that adaptation, not to tax myself so tough that I can't recover. So a big shout out to them. They got a lot of content. They put out like an 8-minute little short film. It's about me sorta, but it's a very educational type of piece, and I feel like if you watch it, you can get an idea of like what happened there, but then also maybe like how you could go about potentially doing like another version of that for yourself in a safe way. Yeah. So check that out, and also obviously just check out Precision Fuel, because I mean they have the fuel and hydration, so like it's kind of a one-stop shop when it comes to them for like race day fueling.
Yeah. Did you find any irony that you went to Christchurch, and as soon as you walked in there, you were basically on fire? Was that?
I didn't think about
were they
that.
trying to tell you something?
I didn't think about that at all, Aaron.
I thought,
I didn't think about that one bit.
they
actually.
as soon as I walk into church, God gonna strike me down.
I didn't think about that at all. I got off the plane. Literally, I landed at like 7 a.m. there, and I got to their facility at 9, and I was in the heat chamber at 11, 2 hours in.
Gotta put you in that heat
but,
chamber.
But,
You wouldn't even know.
but honestly, bro, like Christchurch, England, like I thought I was going to London. It's not like it's
the countryside.
It's like countryside. But it's beautiful. It's really cool. Wild horses, wild like actual cows.
Wild cows?
Wild cows, wild horses.
I don't
Cows in
think
the
they
wild?
make wild cows anymore. I think we domesticated them out. But
No, we did. They didn't. They just be out.
they might not have been wild. They just might have been unhoused.
Sure.
I want to see that.
Yeah, like I got pictures like wild, like you went to wild cows, wild horses.
Yeah, I
Last
feel
time
like-
you seen a wild horse?
I mean, I feel like you see. I think like the American desert probably has wild horses. Like I
I've been
feel
in
like
the
that's
desert.
like
I ain't
the.
seen no horses in the desert.
But I feel like that's an American thing.
Yeah.
Wild horses out in the desert.
Horses is American propaganda for the most part.
But still, right? But like,
Bro said propaganda twice in one episode. He on one.
but wild
Turn right
cows, you know. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, no.
I picture like spotted, like the black and white. I'm
Oh yeah,
thinking
that
something
they
different.
didn't look they weren't spotted black and white cows.
Yeah.
But before we get too far into wish me luck, all that stuff, let's sneak in.
We'll be cheering for you for sure.
I appreciate that. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
I'll be paying attention.
We're gonna be tracking.
I'll
We're gonna be
paying
tracking you.
attention. I'm
Wait,
not cheering for you. All right. So speaking of cheering, right? Thank you for the segue. You didn't even know this was a segue.
Nah.
Thank you for cheering. This is Run Culture Court. We got a few minutes here. Let's talk about Run Culture Court. This is a part of our segment or part of our show where you get to submit a case of things in the running community or running culture that need to be put on trial, whether you think it should stop or whether you think it should continue. Typically, if it's something that you think is not great for the sport or it's a terrible practice. So this week we have someone says this is what the Run Culture Court is today. People that tell you how far you have left to go in a race when they are cheering grinds my gears. I'm over aware of how far I've gone and how far I still have to go until the finish. I don't need or want a reminder.
Can I
Yes,
add
you
to that real
It's Run
quick?
Culture Court.
Add to that real quick. Not only that, which is straight to jail. It's the a-hole who says
Spicy.
at mile 1 of a marathon, 24 more to go, 25 more to go. It's the same sentence.
So straight to jail.
Straight to jail.
Straight to jail for the you're 5 miles away. Straight to jail.
You're almost there. Yeah, straight to
Okay.
jail.
I agree. Straight to hell.
There's just one part in the New York City Marathon.
Bro went to the ultimate judge.
There's just one part in the New York City Marathon where you pop out of Central Park and you go through this weird like square neighborhood.
Yeah.
And there's this one guy with a sign saying you're almost there, knowing full well you still got to climb up Fifth Avenue just to get around to get to the park.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't tell me I'm almost there.
If I'm not almost there.
Don't tell me Don't tell me how much I got left. If I can't see the finish line, I don't want to know.
Right.
Keep it to yourself.
The only time I want to, okay, yes. So straight to jail for the you're almost there, only this much to go, blah blah blah. Unless if you have a sign that says I'm almost there, and literally the next turn you're on the corner of the last turn, and I'm like, yes I am.
Yeah.
And you turn that corner and you see the finish line. That's fine. That's the only person that gets a pass. So unless you got 20 signs that say the same thing right in the same spot, you're done. You're cooked. And I hate the person at mile 1 of a marathon that thinks it's funny to have a sign that says you're almost there. Because I've seen that way too many times.
Trash.
You need to be, I feel like race, like officials should see stuff like that and go, no,
Yeah.
cut that out.
I feel there's only two people who do that. One, people who have never run a 5K, much less a full.
I think
Two,
you're giving way too much credit.
trolls who think they're funny.
Trolls.
It's troll behavior.
It's trolls, bro.
It's troll behavior.
You don't write that on a sign and stand where you stood if you never did 5K.
I want to send more people to jail. If you see somebody walking past like mile 15 in a
Oh,
marathon,
goodness.
don't encourage them.
You can do it.
No, I can't.
You got it.
Clearly, I don't.
Keep pushing.
I'm trying and it failed. Like, no. Like, it's over. It's over. I was walking through Central Park in the New York City Marathon.
Like, what about my demeanor right now thinks that I can? Oh, let me just go. Unless you're about to hand me a line of cocaine.
I was at
Hand me some water. The greatest thing that ever happened to me during a race from a spectator is somebody had a box of tissue and said, here. And I said, that's great. Because a lot of times I want to blow my nose. I want to wipe my, that's fine.
Yeah.
If you see me walking, treat me like I'm not even there. Just let me wallow in my sorrows by myself. Because there's nothing you can say that's going to make me feel any better.
I was
Nothing.
The last
Nothing.
the last Boston I ran, I had to walk because it was hot, and I got cramped, and I grabbed a Morton as I was running, and then I realized I got to stop and walk, and I gave the Morton back at the next aid station. I'm like,
I don't need this. I don't want to waste
that
this.
shows you like your brain don't even process things right. Like, why are you trying to charge back a Morton in the middle of a race?
Right.
Like, you telling me you can do it, I'm starting to think you being funny because you see I'm clearly not doing it.
Yeah.
So keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
I lost $7 there.
Yeah, you could have kept that more than for sure. Resold it. That's not good. I don't like it. I think that people unless you have a funny sign or actually like a motivational type of thing or something or no, what, just funny. Just funny sign.
I will say I do like the power up. Slap this for a power up.
Do y'all slap the power ups?
If I can.
If it's a kid.
If it's a kid.
If you're an adult.
That's the cheat
Get more
code.
creative.
That's actually a cheat code, not the power up signs. But if you are in a half marathon or full marathon and you are feeling absolutely trash and you haven't just like resigned the day yet, starting to like give some high fives, see some kids, go out your way to do a high five for a kid, and kind of like interact with people outside of yourself, that can be a good turnaround point. But I don't want you coming to me telling me how I should feel. Like, you can do this. Like, bro, this is mile 10 of a 26-mile race, and I'm already walking. Unless this was my walk-run plan, I cannot. You know what I'm saying? But I do, like, whenever I see somebody that, like, catches, like, you can tell, like, they're going through a moment, like a cramp or, like, whatever. I'm like, walk it out, stretch it out, like, that's cool. That's more like a coaching type of.
Hang in there is okay.
Hang in there. Oh, yeah, like, hang in there.
You know what I'm saying?
Or legit,
it only gets worse from here.
Or legit, like, are you okay?
Bro.
Do you need anything?
Yeah.
Bro, yeah.
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 But encouraging words, if I'm walking in the marathon, they're not doing nothing.
All right, so speaking of signs, just to end this, we can all say that if you have a sign or someone that says like you know how many miles are left, we can all agree they're going to jail.
That's unanimous.
Unanimous jail.
Life.
Yeah.
You are suspended for life from coming to a race to cheer.
Yeah.
Okay, done. Case closed. But when do y'all start looking at signs? When do you start reading signs?
I'm reading them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right away.
Until my brain can't until I lose the ability to read.
I got
Right.
something.
Yeah.
I purposely, and this is legit. I purposely try to not read signs until later in the race, because a lot of times, like, people are only so creative. So I'm gonna read. I read that sign at mile 5. I read the whole you're running better than the government. I read that 6 times already, and now when I need it at like mile 24 to like take my mind off of it, I'm like, bro,
I can't read at mile 24.
I'll be to go to that the second Eugene marathon I think it was around the Eras tour. The amount of Taylor Swift centric signs throughout the whole course, I was like, okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
Every sign.
And by the way, Swifties, don't come after me. I'm just saying.
No.
There's a lot.
I've heard him say very, very bad things about Taylor Swift.
Every sign turned into Russian for me, bro. After mile 20, I'm like, I don't even know what that said.
You just need Duolingo, my guy.
I need something. Cause
No, but for real though, like I don't know what race it was. I think it might have been that Millennium Meadows, because it was. I think it was 2 loops.
Well, that's
actually.
a loop,
doing
right?
loops is crazy
Because
because now you.
side over and over.
I know.
You want
I know,
me
but it started.
flip the sign over.
Right, you should.
Oh, it's Tommie. Hold up.
Oh, I think this is the last guy. Let's flip. But I mean, I think it started there, and then I realized like that's when I do it on purpose now. Like if I run New York or whatever, like I'm just kind of locked in, and then I start kind of engaging, like that same feeling. I start engaging outside when I really need it.
That makes sense.
You know, like it's
that's
just
a good trick.
Yeah, if you've been overly stimulated and you trash, it's crap.
No, that's a good point. Yeah, the overstimulation definitely makes sense.
Yeah, and then once you hit the wall, like what you gonna do? Read another Taylor Swift sign? That was
shake it
Gary,
off.
since you hate Taylor Swift.
We were just talking about her today.
Yeah, you were talking bad about her today. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm talking about,
Before
I'm
we
trying to
close
get
it
Gary
out, I had a
canceled by all the
question. I had a
Swifties.
question for y'all, and this is not running related, but just quick question. When y'all go to a restaurant, how many napkins is acceptable for you to take if you just one
Like,
person?
to go?
Yeah, like if you taking to go from a restaurant and you see the napkin dispenser, how many are you taking?
I'm taking a handful. I got
Handful?
kids. I got kids.
Oh, you doing stuff for future
Yeah.
future reference, bro? Got a middle section full of napkins right now.
Yeah.
too.
I think that I take. It depends what I'm getting. If I can get away with it, I'm taking like 5, 6, 7.
I think between 4 and 6 is very acceptable.
For
Depending,
anything?
like if it's like barbecue, then
Oh, yeah, you
grab
take
some
as many
extra.
as
You
you
know what I'm saying? If
Take
it's,
a roll.
you know what I'm saying? If it's something you eating with a fork, 4. But
Yeah.
I was thinking yesterday because I'm like, all right, 1, 2, 3, 4. I used to like reach my finger in there and
Yeah.
just like grab like
Yeah.
half the stack out.
Okay.
But I'm like, this is not good for the common good. You know what
Straight
I'm
to-
saying?
As long as
Hey, if you
you leave some napkins for the person behind you.
No. If it's one of those ones where you pull like Kleenex and you take over 5, straight to jail. If you reach your hand in to go under the layers and pull them up to get more,
I mean, now that you
You
say
the
that,
worst
it
time-
does
you the worst
sound
kind of person.
it does sound a little bit unsanitary.
unsanitary.
Maybe
you
I
just
should
sticking your
stop doing
fingers
that.
down in there.
Maybe I
All
should
right.
stop going and make my finger in to get a good grip.
I mean, for somebody that hates Taylor Swift, I figure you would lick your fingers before you grab napkins. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for tapping into the PR Project episode number 131. This is our half marathon episode. Make sure you like, subscribe, all the good things on the platforms, YouTube and the podcast platforms. We'll be back for 132. See y'all soon.
Good luck, Tommy.
Yeah.
Peace.